ಹಾಯ್ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ದರ್ಶನ್ ಸೂರ್ಯ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ತುಂಬ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಹೆಸರು ಗುರು ದೇವೋ ಭವ ಅಂತ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮೊಂದಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ವಾಸುದೇವ್ ಗುರುಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟು ನಾವು ಬರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಗುರುಜಿ ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಓಂ ನಮಃ ಶಿವಾಯ. ಓಂ ಅರುಣಾಚಲ ಶಿವ.
ಗುರುಜಿ, ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಟು ಮೀಟ್ ಯು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡ ಜನತೆಗೆ ಹೇಳೋದೇನೆಂದರೆ, ನೀವು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಬಟ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಟೆಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯು ಗುರುಜಿ, ಲೈಕ್ ವೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ಫ್ರಮ್, ವಾಟ್ ಡು ಯು ಡೂ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡೇ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್.
I am from Bhagyanagar. So, basically I was an engineering graduate. I've done my post-graduation in management even in UK. So, I've been working with large corporations, and I had my own enterprise for a while. I've served a lot to many communities. I've worked mainly in management, consulting, and many other fields. And there came a point where I felt that I've seen it all. I've seen it all, where the basic duty of a Sanatani is to serve your Sanatan first, and the rest all falls in place. So I've been trying since 2012, where I was in peak of my business and all. So I've been trying to come into this path, and I was trying to get into places like holy places around the world. I've been all over the world, and final call came in the year 2020 odd, when I visited Tiruvannamalai, Arunachala, and not demeaning any other kshetras, but in general there that, as you say, that spark was lit. We have started our charity organizations of my organization called Dev Foundation in 2012. We've been consistently doing it, but at one point I felt this is it, this is what it is. And I was in deep follower of Bhagwan Sri Ramana Maharshi, and his teachings and all hit me very hard. And there came a spark on one fine day when I was at Skandashram. You got to, in Tiruvannamalai, you've been there, you have to have a trek of 1 hour and reach Skandashram on top of the hill. And while sitting there in deep meditation for hours together, then I felt this is it. And that was stopping of everything, right from my business to all the consulting things which I do and all. And then I said, I have to dedicate my life for the prachar and prasar of Sanatan Dharma only. And I am an ardent bhakt of Shiva, one of those millions of people who believe Shiva. I also am walking in that path, and surrender is the key. So I've surrendered myself in that year, and later on I've built many organizations in this dharmic way. And the main intention is that in modern mechanical life, our Sanatanis which they are living today, right, they have modern issues like stress, anxiety, loneliness, right, and typical mental weaknesses. And we are seeing newly born children born with ADHDs, anxiety disorders, social anxiety. The Gen Zs have got a different lot of problems. So what I strongly believed right from my childhood, I was groomed with the principles of Arya Samaj of Swami Dayananda Saraswati. So my grandfather was one of the pracharak, and I was groomed with that. Eventually I followed few other traditions, and finally Advaita of Shankara is the final lesson. So what I thought is, for this modern mechanical world and modern problems, we don't need to have modern solutions, right? Problems are modern, solutions should be ancient, because we have it built in us. Every Sanatani should remember that this human life is built for a specific period of time, and in this specific period of time, Sanatan has given us all the solutions for all our problems which are genuine. For all the problems which are genuine, we are built to have our solutions in our Hindu Dharma, in our Sanatan Dharma. But the problems which are made up by us, by diverting from Sanatan, whenever one diverts from the Sanatana Dharma, he will witness innovative problems which are not actually a problem. So today, as I've said, right from your stress to work-life balance and all, when Shiva Tattva gave you a principle where your entire body is balanced, Shiva is carrying the Trishul, that means balance. Your entire body, he's balancing it. He's balancing the conscious, he's balancing the world. Your simple human creature, balancing is very easy for him. So what we're trying to do is, we're walking away from Shiva, we're walking away from Shiva Tattva, we're walking away from Sanatana, then we have integrating ourselves with innovative problems which are not problems. A problem will have a solution if it is a problem. If it is not a problem, and if you are considering it to a problem, then you will never find solution. And for those problems also, you have solutions in Sanatan. The only solution is follow Sanatan. Sanatana Dharma, right from Advaita Vedanta to whatever schools of thoughts we have, Shiva Tattva, he is the creator. He can create you, he can balance you, he can take you forward, he can give you Ashta Lakshmi Vaibhava, he can train you your life in a way which always you're pleased with. There's so many things Shiva can do for you. So our Shiva Tattva Katha yesterday, which we have conducted in Bengaluru, is all about how to integrate your small time living mechanism to the mechanism of the universe which is managed by Shiva. Simple thing, integrate yourself with Shiva and all the problems diminish. How to do it? So we have a concept called Sharnagathi. Surrender is the biggest thing in life. Silence is the thing which you start with. Sharnagathi is the thing which you end with. Once you surrender yourself to Shiva, Sharnagathi happened, then you don't need to take care of anything. You don't have to depend on external mechanisms in life to run your body. External so-called advanced Western world mechanisms which we follow today, right from your small time treadmill to whatever smart gadgets you use to maintain your body, is not required when you are attached to Shiva Tattva. These bodies have come from centuries. I am not new, I am ancient. You are not new, you are ancient. Right? You have come into this world now, you have come into this world many times. When you could have managed many a times, managing now is not difficult. You can manage it with Shiva Tattva. Knowing Shiva Tattvas, Panchakrityas, Om Namah Shivaya, Panchakshari Mantras power, all these things when you draw from yourself, Shiva is inside you. Right? You have to realize the only solution is Sharnagathi, where you start living with Shiva. Many people ask me, Acharya, what is this living with Shiva? I say that when a newly born toddler is at your home, right, don't we make few changes for them? We make few changes. We don't shout, no loud music and all that stuff, right? When you are living in an urban place, your father comes from your native place, don't you make few changes for them? You do make. Few things will be changed. When there is an age-old grandfather at home, because of him you make few changes. Your discipline is on top, a few things you change. When you are living with Shiva, you have to make changes. Right? Few changes, rituals, postures, things which you do, the system of life, all these things, when you start doing it and when you say Sharnagathi, I surrender to Shiva, you have to make few changes, and those changes are very easy, good for you. Wearing a vibhuti as a Sanatani is good for you. You walk and you make the places pure. Right? Wearing vibhuti, starts from there, every day, morning or evening, whenever you feel. Sanatan is not governed and ruled by rituals and principles. It is governed by silence, governed by Sharnagathi. Right? So if you are living with Shiva, you make few changes. Right? Follow Dakshinamurti's principle of silence and all these things.
So actually, going through your profile, people were very curious. Today's people are like working hard, being an engineering graduate, being an MBA holder, traveled across the world. People are in more of stress. But you, from being so much of energetic work and everything, what was the main thing which you attracted? Some kind of any miracle happened in your life to get into spirituality, the journey of spirituality? One you can share?
I can't call it a miracle. But after searching the whole world, the entire country, I would say, when I say world, it's about Sanatan, Hinduism, India. When I've gone around the country, I was searching for some few answers which were always doubtful in me, right from my childhood days when I used to read a book called Satyardha Prakash from Swami Dayananda Saraswati of Arya Samaj. From there till date, from reading the book of Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, Who Am I, there were a few questions always in, and I think we have kshetras, there is a kshetra mahima. For example, if you look at Arunachala, there is a kshetra mahima. When I was sitting there, as I've said to you, I've trekked the mountain, I was sitting there in Skandashram, then these answers, what I have personal experience is, all the great answers from the greatest saints or Lord Shiva himself, these answers are given to you in silence. Right? What I couldn't get by reading thousands of things and talking to many people, in silence those answers are delivered. And those answers have delivered in a way where Sanatana path is the only path for me. Anything which I do in a day which is not building my Sanatana instinct or Sanatana character is useless, is what I thought. That samsara is there. As a grahastha, you have to do what you need to do. But beyond that, if anybody says that I'm busy 24 hours in a day, I don't believe in it. You still have time in your life where you can still live with Shiva and his principles. For me, it was a call. Right? I feel it was a call, and once that call was done, I left everything. It's not the same for others. That call may be happening in your life also at some point of time. Right? So as I've said to you, I had a feel that I have seen it all. All doesn't mean that the riches or worth or anything. It is something where your soul needs to search and think, this is what it is I need, and I give it a day. Right? In typical like modern day, many Hindus think that maybe once I reach an age of 60, I start bhakti. 65, I do bhakti. Bhakti, silence, Sharnagathi are not concepts. They are your way of living. Right? We have to live with bhakti, we have to live with Sharnagathi, we have to live with silence. So the triggering point in my life, I would say, because of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, I would say silence was a triggering point. And that silence was so, I would say, I wouldn't be using this word, but it was so wild that it changed the mind totally. And here you see what
Yes, we had observed the same thing in the hall yesterday when we had this Shiva Tattva Katha. The silence was very different, and the way you narrated everything was different. And also you told few things which was really so nice, like the stress of the present situation for the youngsters or whoever, they work in a company or they give the stress to another, 10% to another, 5% to another. So how to control this stress finally?
As I've said yesterday,
is it
also,
only through meditation or it's through silence?
Yesterday also I told the same thing. As Shiva, if you look at hala hala, it was stopped in his throat. He didn't deliver it outside because the outside world will be spoiled. And inside the whole universe, Shiva has a universe in his being. So that will be disturbed. So here what it is, silence teaches you a small English word. Silence is a very big word, but another small English word is patience. Right? Silence teaches, the first teaching of silence is patience. Right? And when you are facing some grudgeful situations and some insults and all, the first thing is have some patience. Right? And don't distribute that disturbances to people, which will come back to you eventually. Right? The biggest thing here is, if you are silent enough to see the world and do what you're doing, don't expect some other validations. The biggest problem today with especially the latest generations is, you want validations from third party. No third party is so good to validate who you are. Right? For example, you're working in a certain organization, your management saying that you are too good every day is dangerous. It's not good. We think that people's validations are good. Only Shiva can validate you. There's no person. For that validations you are struggling. A husband feels my wife should validate me, say you're great, and wife feels the same thing, kids feel the same thing, your parents feel the same thing. Validations are Shiva's role. Right? Until you're worried about validations, it's not possible. And how is it required? I don't use the modern day technology words like modern yoga, meditation and all. I would rather say, all of my followers I say, just follow Parama Shiva Swabhava, Dakshinamurti. Right? Anybody can afford to buy a small picture, put it in your house facing south and sit in front of him for 15 minutes for the first 21 days, then he will guide you. I've always said that I am only a teacher, right? Like you have physics teacher, maths teacher, I'm a spiritual teacher. Neither a saint nor anybody. I'm a teacher. Second thing is, I am a postman coming from the sacred land of Arunachala. I got few messages. I try to give these letters to everybody. You read and you be happy. That's it.
Now, one word, what I felt as an interviewer is secondary. As a human being, I felt you are a mind reader. My next question was about to talk about Dakshinamurti, and already you have spoken about that. Guruji, and really thank you so much for giving your time, and we will try to follow you always. And please, next time when you are in Bangalore, do come to our studio and your wishes to our channel.
We'll do a long one.
Yeah.
Right, so, and I wish you all very best, and just let's Arunachala's grace to your channel.
Ashwavega.
And, Ashwavega and Ashwa Mandira, what you're trying to build. And these kind of platforms are very, very important to Sanatana Dharma. The one message which I would like through your channel to tell our Sanatana Dharma followers is caste factor should be in your home only. Once you are out of your home, everybody is a Hindu, everybody is a Sanatani. So I wish you all, I wish you prosperous growth. I will pray Arunachala to shower his grace on your channel, Ashwavega.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ಎಸ್, ಇವತ್ತು ಈ ವಿಶೇಷ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಮುಗಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಸುದೇವ್ ಗುರುಜಿ ತುಂಬ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳೋಕೆ ಹೋದರು ಶಿವತತ್ವನ. ಅವರ ಕಾಲಾವಕಾಶ ತುಂಬ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಈಗ ಏರ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಹೊರಡಬೇಕಾಯಿತು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಅವರು ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಚಾರ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಖಂಡಿತ ಇವ್ರದ್ದು ವಿಶೇಷ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.